Don't you smell it? It's fall time. And when it's fall, although we may be going back to school, although we may be going back to college, although the summer and the beaches and the ladies and the bikinis are gone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because we are getting ourselves some football. Oh, baby. NFL is back. Thank you, Lord. The reason why I'm excited for this NFL season, other than most NFL seasons, is there's a lot of newsworthy stories in the season. There's a lot of things that can make you say, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. You know, last year's draft class, let's face it, it was kind of boring, stale, it was whatever. There's only really, 3 top candidates that came out of that draft class, and one of them was like a 5th round pick by the Browns. To be honest, nothing really too exciting. But this year, a lot of top rookies came out. A lot of storylines, whether it's in Miami, New York, Dallas, everywhere. There's a lot of stories, and there's a lot of chances for a lot of teams. You see the Super Bowl team, they have the hardest schedule in the league. The champions, they have to defend against the hardest schedule in the league. The other team that was in the Super Bowl, they have the easiest schedule. There's a lot of different teams that can combine and combust in this NFL season. This is why I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for this year's NFL season, whether my teams do good or bad. Now, if you guys are wondering what are my teams, go Chargers, go, and the Bears. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to know. If you want to know how I became fans of those 2 teams, just pop by a message. Anyways, I was thinking of, what division should I talk about today? What division sounds interesting to speak about? And then I was thinking to myself, the AFC South. So let's get started with the AFC South. First off, with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, God. Jacksonville just probably feels so bad right now. I mean, you got rid of David Garrard. David Garrard is showing some good stuff in Miami right now. Let's see how he transfers that to the field from training camp. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's okay, Jaguar fans. You got Laurent Robinson and Justin Blackmon. Those are two good, decent wide receivers. Mercedes Lewis is a nice little tight end. You're fine. Unless you guys had a quarterback that could fucking throw to them. Blaine Gabbert, I'm sorry. Right now, he doesn't really seem too much of a future for Jacksonville. I don't know if Jacksonville is planning on going to the playoffs. I don't know if their goal is to make the playoffs. But it just doesn't seem like Jacksonville will be a playoff team this year. I don't really see too much going on in Jacksonville. Blaine Gabbert, I don't think is a terrible quarterback. He's decent at best. But he just can't throw the deep ball. He just can't throw deep. I mean, yeah, he shows signs of consistency. And then afterwards, he just disappears. With Maurice Jones-Drew holding out 2 for that offense, oh, God, dude, that's going to be terrible. That's going to be terrible for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not having your team leader, and not only that, the best player on your fucking team. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, Jacksonville, they have a pretty decent linebacker core. Their D-line, I would say, is sometimes mediocre. Sometimes they will have good games, sometimes they won't. Their secondary is surprisingly somewhat good. They're not the best secondary, but they can have games sometimes, that secondary, where, they can hold a team down to, like, a quarterback at least, like 125 yards. So I think that's pretty decent for defense. But anyways, other than that, Jacksonville, they really are in a building block phase. They just need to keep getting better on that front line on defense, and also maybe hoping that Blaine Gabbert can, arise into something, because it would be kind of stupid for Jacksonville if they have a bad season to go ahead and say we're going to draft Matt Barkley if Blaine Gabbert's not getting it done. So pretty much there could be someone in this draft this year, and I know there are, that are going to be top defensive linemen, top linebackers that you could be missing out on just because you have to draft Matt Barkley because Blaine Gabbert's sucking dick. That would suck because you already drafted Gabbert a year ago. Why the hell would you go after another quarterback? I don't know, but hopefully Blaine Gabbert shows signs of life. As for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I got them at 4-12. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jaguar fans. If you guys got Tim Tebow, it may have been different. Even though, he's not the best quarterback, he would have done something for your team. But you guys bailed on the Tim Tebow sweepstakes, if there was one. I don't think there was. But anyways, moving on. Another AFC South team that's in the building block phase is the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts, once a power in the AFC, with Peyton Manning no more. Peyton Manning's gone. And it's a new rise of Andrew Luck out of Stanford. And Andrew Luck out of Stanford, smart kid, very mobile quarterback, very, very good to decent deep ball thrower. He is a smart kid. He is a good player. But what about his other teammates surrounding him? Their running back right now, I believe, is Donald Brown. I'm not 100% sure. If you're a Colts fan, please comment down below who your running back is. But Donald Brown is pretty much your starting running back. They got rid of Joseph Adai. Joseph Adai went to the Patriots, said that he didn't want to run anymore, and now he's a free agent again. Really, to be honest, if I were the Colts, I would test my luck with Cedric Benson. But then again, I know how Cedric Benson plays. Fuck you, Benson. But anyways, the Colts wide receivers, really, Reggie Wayne is the best wide receiver. Now, Austin Collie, I don't know where he's at. Is he still there? Or if he's not, then Reggie Wayne's pretty much the best wide receiver. Now, they did get that Feely guy, that freaking that Luck played with that Stanford at tight end. So maybe that will give him a nice little, feeling out. Colby Fleener, I believe his name is, not Feely. To give someone else, that shitty quarterback. Colby Fleener, they have him at tight end. So maybe Luck can have some comfortableness. They did lose, though, a key piece on the offensive line in Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday's over at Green Bay now. Great pickup from Green Bay, in all honesty, to be honest. You got a great offensive lineman. They lost that guy, but we'll see how the offensive line for Indianapolis will do. I keep on calling them Stanford. I don't know why. Indianapolis defensive line, of course, you got Marvin Harrison and Dwight Freeney. Those are your best players on defense. Other than that, even though the Colts offense sucked dick last year, the Colts defense sucked worse. Oh my goodness. They would only step up like in the fourth quarter. They didn't play all 4 downs. And really, to be honest, the Colts defense needs to step it up this year. I mean, they're not, when you look at the personnel and the players that are on that defense, they're not a bad squad. They were just giving up too much pass yards. I mean, really, to be honest, when you look at your schedule and you see that you have to play quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Drew Brees, you got to think to yourself, come on, you got to step up. But, hey, maybe the Colts can do something on defense. Their defense, to me, just doesn't really look too effective. And for me, the Indianapolis Colts, they're a big question mark because I want to know what Andrew Luck will do to that team. Hell, for all we know, Andrew Luck could have, like, a freaking Andy Dalton type season. Who knows? But other than that, I'm keeping the Colts really, really, really not doing so good, but better than last year at 6-10. Now, when we look on to the 2 teams in this division that are actually fighting for the division title, and both could possibly get a playoff spot. I'm saying both could, because really this is a 2-team division right now. These teams better muster up all they can, and they have the talent to do it. Starting off with the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans last year went 9-7 under new coach Mike Munchak. Mike Munchak did a very good job coaching that squad. The defense, though, did lose a leader in Cortland Finnegan, but Cortland Finnegan, one of the best open field corner tacklers in the league, it really, to be honest, wasn't a huge loss. The guy was down on interceptions, but he did play on the ball pretty well. They have some really great defensive linemen. Their linebacker core is solid. Secondary, I don't think it's that much of a question mark. McCourty is still there, so they still have McCourty, the good one, not the one on the Patriots. So, to be honest, that's a question mark on where the Titans defense stands in the secondary, but I think their secondary's fine. When you play in the division like an AFC South, really it's more about running than, passing, even though AFC South has some decent quarterbacks. Well, Matt Schaub and Matt Hasselbeck. But speaking of Matt Hasselbeck, the Tennessee Titans offense. Matt Hasselbeck, came in, was picked up by Tennessee, and a lot of fans had a question mark about that because it's like, yeah, Matt Hasselbeck, Super Bowl quarterback, guy who, done wonders with the Seahawks, but he hasn't been consistent. What is he going to do? He puts out a good year in Tennessee, and if he didn't go down in injury, and if Chris Johnson actually showed up, Titans could have actually made the playoffs last year, in all honest opinion. I think they would have actually made a wild card spot instead of the Bengals. Like, to be honest, if you just looked at it, they were doing really good with Hasselbeck. So, but the only problem is Hasselbeck has some competition. There is Jake Locker from Washington, drafted last year, who played a couple of series late in games and really showed some brilliance. Jake Locker is not a typical white boy quarterback, though. He's not primarily a true pocket passer. This guy's more of a balanced quarterback. The dude can actually run the football. Not on a Michael Vick type speed or what many people are thinking, but he can run the football when need be, and it was shown in the Saints game last year. Now, there's a quarterback competition going on with these two, and I don't know what the Titans are going to do. I don't know who the Titans are going to start, but it will be interesting to see how they're going to handle the situation. It seems like Matt Hasselbeck and Jake Locker have a good friendship. They don't really hate each other. They want to make each other better every day, which is how a quarterback battle should be, helping each other get better. And it won't cause any controversy whatsoever. I think if Peyton Manning would have came to Tennessee, it would have caused a huge controversy between the quarterbacks. But to be honest, right now, it just comes down to how the tight ends are going to use these quarterbacks. Kendall Wright, Nate Washington, and Kenny Britt coming back from injury should help the Titans' wide receiving core. Their wide receiving core is pretty solid, especially with the Kenny Britt and a Kendall Wright, so from Baylor, rookie. So that should be interesting. Chris Johnson will be back in hopefully full CJ 2K form and not the CJ we got last year for. That was just horrendous, but hopefully Chris Johnson can have a bounce back season because he is definitely a really good running back and definitely a top running back that people should watch out for. So, to be honest, the Tennessee Titans, this is their season to probably push for the playoffs. I'm not going to say push for the Super Bowl. I don't really think the defense or, the offensive talent is all there yet. But if they keep making good playoff runs, the Super Bowl could come maybe in 2 years. Who knows? But the Tennessee Titans, I have them going at least 9-7, the best 10-6. And I can say they're a strong potential for a wild card matchup. But now it's time to talk about the team that will most likely be the fan favorite, most likely rule this AFC South. And the only way to ruin this AFC South, this AFC South, is if they stay fucking healthy. The Houston Texans. Last year, the Houston Texans looked really good. That defense was fucking unstoppable. Now, they lost DeMeco Ryans and Mario Williams. DeMeco Ryans is a bigger loss than Mario Williams. They played with Mario. They played better without Mario Williams on defense, in my personal opinion. He's still a really good player, but they played better. Offensive line is the same. Defensive line is the same. Secondary is pretty damn good. There's nothing really to complain about the Houston Texans defense. The only problem is that sometimes they get injuries to crucial players. Andre Johnson last year, injured throughout most of the season. And you saw that when he was playing in the playoffs against the Bengals and the Ravens, he was doing fucking work. Andre Johnson was looking like a stud in these games. He made TJ Yates look like he was an elite quarterback when TJ Yates is not. I mean, if they had Matt Schaub, if they had Matt Schaub at quarterback, and they would have had Andre Johnson healthy all season and Arian Foster, healthy all season, that is a potential Super Bowl team, and this is a team that has potential Super Bowl caliber. You got the best running back in the league right now in Arian Foster. You have one of the great wide receivers in Andre Johnson. You have great supporting cast around them. This team is stacked, and it baffles me that many fans don't really see how stacked they are. They have great backups. This team pretty much is a threat to a lot of things and could end, an AFC drought of always having to see the Colts, the Patriots, and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Ever since I believe the Raiders were the last team coming out of the AFC that were not named Patriots, Steelers, and Colts for a while. The Raiders in 2003, they were that last team, and then all of a sudden, bam, it was like Patriots, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Steelers, Colts. It gets annoying, it's repetitive, and this is a team that can bring some competition to it. I think they could take the New England Patriots easily with this team right now. Now, the thing is, they need to stay fucking healthy. They need to stay fucking healthy, because with Matt Schaub, who knows? They could have been facing against the New York Giants at the Super Bowl. We don't know what could have happened because of those injuries, but I believe this team is a tough team. This team could make it to the Super Bowl. They are definitely a favorite. But the thing is, this team needs to stay healthy. If this team keeps getting injured, it could cause some problems. Now, the only problem is with the Houston Texans is that Arian Foster decided, LOL, I'm a vegan. Okay, you're a vegan now. I don't know how that's going to affect you play, but hopefully you're still a fucking beast. That's all I really got to say about the Texans. There's not really too much to say about them. They just need to stay healthy. And a lot of fans, that are rival fans against the Texans, they hope they don't stay healthy because they want a better chance. But the Texans, with their schedule, it's a pretty tough schedule, so I don't really see them going a spectacular record. But I see them going 11-5 and winning the AFC South. So tell me, guys, down below, what do you guys think about the AFC South this year? Do you think Andrew Luck will have a great rookie year? Do you think the Titans could actually make the playoffs this year and become, once again, a threat in the playoff division? Do you think that the Texans can push their way to the Super Bowl? Who knows? I think the Texans are a favorite for the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to go there yet because there's another AFC team I think that is going to the Super Bowl. But anyways, this is ChaseOliver68. I hope you guys enjoy. Check out CO Live Videos, my video game / whatever channel. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68, and I'll see you all later.